So now the next thing in this session today, what we're going to learn about is we have a hands-on workshop for folks who are interested to learn more about SPIFFE and Spire, get a hands-on, like an exercise. If you folks are up for it, I think there are links in our chat windows here where you can, go ahead and register yourself. I registered mine ahead of time, and I'm going to share with you folks and walk you through this. Right now, I'm going to give all of us a couple of minutes here really quick to, go ahead and register. Daniel, I see you here. I hope you have registered for the session today. Are you excited?
Yeah, Madhu, this is going to be great. I love doing these workshops. They're so interactive, and you can really learn if you've understand the material live.
Yeah. Daniel here, folks, is one of our subject matter expertise. He runs the SIG Spire for SPIFFE and Spire. And I really want to get your thought, Daniel, on the talk, like when I have you here, what do you think was one of the best takeaways from the talk, from the Bloomberg talk that you saw today?
The cool part about working with Bloomberg is they have this very diverse infrastructure that's built up over 40 years, like Phil said. They have on-prem servers and cloud servers and various kinds of hybrid clouds across all this infrastructure. And then they have hundreds of thousands of Bloomberg terminals around the world. Across all that infrastructure, they have already developed their own mechanism for doing secure identity. And they're looking at switching to Spire and working with SPIFFE and Spire in order to bring that identity layer up to date. And what they're finding is SPIFFE and Spire are already a little bit similar to their existing infrastructure that's evolved over many years. So they already had this identity system, and now they're switching to this new open source identity system, and they're discovering that they're actually similar in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really, my key takeaway from there was making SPIFFE and Spire technology that is transparent to developers, right? So that was kind of my more exciting to learn that the motivation behind this is about that. And I'm really excited to see this, incorporated in as many, making this a core part of any infrastructure, right? So that's kind of the, the vision and where I see SPIFFE and Spire going at this point. I'm really excited. So yeah, thanks for that insight, Dan. I appreciate you, reading through that. Thank you. So folks, I'm gonna go on and try to thank you for HPE Dev. Obviously, I did not make these. These are amazing, notebooks where you can pretty much just go and click play and see something set up in works, right? So this gives us a hands-on experience. It's pretty straightforward for folks who have not used this. You just register yourself. You should get an email with the link and the credentials, and take it from there. And once you click the link in your email, you can see something similar to what I'm seeing here. And really all you have to do is to walk through this is click this play button. So really in this workshop, we have 4 different things that we do. There are 3 steps, but really there are 4 different things. One is we install. SPIFFE is specification, and Spire is an actual implementation, reference implementation of this. And what we do in this workshop is install SPIFFE reference implementation, which is Spire, the Spire server and the Spire agent. We install and configure them. We attest the Spire agent itself with something we call join token. Join token is a bearer token, which can be used one time only. And that kind of is the attestation data or the secret that the agent uses to attest itself. Attestation itself is a process in which a workload or a node in your infrastructure can prove through prior registered values that the claim that it itself is what it's supposed to be. So for example, this can be as simple as a process ID for a workload. In the second step here, we are going to attest the Spire agent with something called a join token. But there are various attestation mechanisms built into Spire, which enable us to do various different things, like attestation. For example, we have a Kubernetes one, we have a AWS one, we have other cloud vendors like GCP and Azure. Each one, we already have a built-in plugin, node attestation plugin, which essentially attests certain properties of the underlying platform-specific properties of that node itself. And for workloads as well. Like for example, in Kubernetes, you can attest the workload to be a specific container image. You can verify the SHA-SUM of those containers. You can verify in AWS, for example, the node attestation. You can use something like an instance identity document or the metadata within that instance identity document to attest those AWS EC2 instances, for example. Right? So we'll look into attesting Spire agent, then we create those properties through registration. So we have a Unix on a Unix domain socket. We expose a registration API on the Spire server, and these workloads properties can be registered through that, right? So we will show that. And this in this example, we are going to walk ourselves through. We are going to attest these workloads based on their Unix specific underlying properties, which are kernel specific properties such as process ID, or a group ID, things like that. So just to keep things simple, we're just focusing on a well-contained example in this fundamentals walkthrough, right? So yeah, so the first step here is to install. So I'm gonna click through that. And as we can see here, here we have, we are going to get the we're going to download the tarball for our Spire binaries, and that is going to install the Spire server itself, right? The next step here is to configure these. At the core of it, the way we model these trust domain, so to speak, right? So trust domain is how you model your trust. It's a root of trust. You can think of this as a certificate authority for, in your PKI infrastructure. And we are going to set that trust domain to something specific. So here we're going to go ahead in the configuration. There are two parts to the configuration. One is the server part, and then there's the plugin part. So as I was mentioning earlier, you have different node attestation mechanisms, and you can write your own node attester plugin as well. And each of these attestation mechanisms and whatnot can be set up as a plugin. To store our data, we are using here, just for the sake of keeping these things simple, we are trying to have this as a SQLite, which is going to be an on-disk data store, but this is highly available. You can set this to very highly available database as well. Yeah, and keys such as you can use something like a KMS store to store these keys as well, or TPM based keys, right? So that is a key manager plugin that enables you to store your keys. And the node attester itself, here we are using a join token, right? So once you have the server configured, let's go ahead and verify. So here we are seeing that everything looks fine on the server, and running this validate command makes sure that your configuration itself is fine. It's kind of a nice way that you can actually verify your configurations. Next up here is we're going to start up the Spire server, and let's make sure it's running as expected. Let's run, it lets you run the health check. Looks like the server is up and healthy. And now we're going to go into the Spire agent. So let's take a look at the agent configuration. Again, even in the agent, we have two sections here, the agent section, which has, again, the trust domain, and this web, the server, how do you contact the server, so the server port, and also the workload API itself is run on a Unix domain socket. So this is the path to that workload API where the workloads can actually interact with the Spire agent to attest themselves, right? So here we are going to start the agent in a minute here. We're going to use the Spire token. The attestation mechanism here is a join token, which the Spire server generates. So the first step here is the prior step is to actually generate that, so which we are going to do now. And using that token, we have set that in an environment variable. We are going to start the Spire agent and passing that join token as one of the parameters and run that. Once you start that, after we take a look at, looks like the Spire agent is running, it's healthy, and everything is attested. So the Spire, we were now able to attest the Spire agent with our Spire server using the node attestation mechanism here, configured node attestation mechanism, which here is a join token. And now we're going to register the workload. So we have a Spire server so far, we have a Spire server running, then we tested the Spire server with the Spire server, the node on which the workloads will be running. And now we're going to register the workload itself. So to do that, let's go ahead and run this particular command here. So this command, which is highlighted here, is saying register this particular workload to have this SPIFFE ID. Under this trust domain. HPE dev.io is the trust domain that we have registered, and the workload SPIFFE ID is just that, the workload itself. And we are using this attribute here, right? So the attribute that we are using, or the property that we are saying that this workload needs to have in order to retrieve its SVED, which is the X509 certificate with the SAN URI field set to that particular SPIFFE ID, is the Unix ID. So here we have the process ID. We have set it in environment variable UID, and once we run this particular registration entry as command, then that particular registration entry is created. So the registration entry itself, right? So it's a hierarchical structure where at the top of the hierarchy is always your Spire server itself. And below that Spire server, you have your agents. And below those agents is your actual workload. So here the parent ID denotes the SPIFFE ID of the node, right? So the node itself has the SPIFFE ID, and then below that in that hierarchy we have the SPIFFE ID that we just registered for the workload with these properties. So any process which is running as this user UID, right? So that is going to be able to retrieve the SVED that we just now registered. So let's go ahead, and the next step here, we are going to run that process and try to retrieve its SPIFFE ID. So in order to do that, we have an inbuilt client that talks to the workload API within the Spire agent, which we are going to leverage here. And we are going to go ahead and run that command. So the Spire agent itself has an inbuilt command which is able to talk to the workload API. Here we have the workload API running on this particular path on this Unix domain socket. And when we run that command, we should be able to retrieve that. So yeah, here we go. So we were able to fetch the SPIFFE by running this particular Spire agent command line as that user ID. And once we were able to do that, we were able to actually fetch that SPIFFE as well. So, I mean, this particular fetch command really just shows us the metadata of that X59 certificate. But if you really want to like store this on the file itself, then to verify that, you can obviously do that by specifying the right, like on the command line option. And once you do that, you can store it on your file system as well. And just to introspect what's in it, let's go ahead and run that OpenSSL command to verify. And you can see that the SPIFFE ID that we registered is actually in there in that X59 certificate SAN URI field and embedded within that certificate itself, right? The interesting part here to note is, I think like the validity of these, right? So one of the main important things that SPIFFE and Spire solves for is the rotation of your X59 certificates, the rotation of your identity itself within your infrastructure for your workloads. And it enables you to rotate them and manage these identities for you without having any interference from the developers or for your operation folks to go in and make these changes, which is really crucial in a microservice sort of environment. And like these can be as granular to map with your life cycle of your workloads itself. And when you're actually registering your workload, as part of the registration entry is a TTL for each one of those registration entries, which kind of like update these as well, right? Like depending on how, whether you have a bursty kind of workload which just comes up for a few minutes, you can set those as and how you want them to be, and it can be as dynamic as necessary, right? So that kind of concludes our, like the workshop here. I encourage everyone to like go ahead and try it out, and really want you to, if you have any questions, thank you. There have been a lot of questions coming in. I hope I was able to like answer most of them. Dan, do you have anything more to add here? Like, some closing comments that you want to do about SPIFFE and Spire? Feel free to like, like go in.
Yeah, I just had a couple things to add. The first thing is, if you have any trouble with the workshop software, just let us know. I know it can be a tiny bit confusing, but you click each one of those boxes containing commands, and then it runs those commands when you hit the play button, the little play button in the top, or you can press Control Enter and it will run the commands right away. And as Madhu was showing on the screen, we actually wrote a book last year called Solving the Bottom Turtle, which is about 200 pages, about more about the design and architecture of SPIFFE and Spire. It's not so much about the detailed how to run this command, how to run this command, how to run this command. The documentation is on spiffe.io, and that documentation is really good. We have a professional doc writer who just works on that. And it goes into a lot of detail, and that's more about the how to configure this, exactly what commands to run, that sort of thing. Other than that, Madhu and I are both available online. You can email us. You can reach us on the SPIFFE Slack. Oh, I forgot to say, the SPIFFE Slack is very active. You can join it on spiffe.io. And we're always on the SPIFFE Slack. You can ask questions and usually get them answered there right away, even if they're just general questions about whether SPIFFE is the right solution for you. And I think that's it. So I guess we have some time now for everyone to try out the workshop, and we'll be online and able to help as you're working on it.
Yeah, I mean, HPE Dev has its own Slack channel as well, and it spans beyond just the SPIFFE and Spire projects as well, right? So they provide a lot of workshops for you to get an on-demand, like a hands-on experience. I encourage folks to like attend And definitely don't forget about the treasure hunt to get some cool swags, right? I got one of these, like maybe you can get something like this as well. So yeah, thank you, and I appreciate you folks attending today.
Thanks, Madhu, and thanks so much for everyone in the audience for joining. Again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions about SPIFFE at all.
Maybe I can add a word. I mean, if you want, if you don't mind, Daniel. So my name is Frédéric, and I'm part of the HPE dev team. And I mean, they already told everything about it. But just to let you know that there are still some room left in the workshops, so you can still register for them, and they're available all year long, 24/7. So whenever you want, you can actually reach out to the Hack Shack website and actually do the workshops that you would like to. And all of them will be backed up with the video. So, I mean, there'll be self-guided type of approach. So that's very important and needed to be said. So keep in mind that even out of Discover, all the workshops are available.
Yeah, thanks, Fred. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I forgot to mention that these are not just for today. They're going to be there for a very long time for folks like, and there is more coming as well, if I understand that right, Fred. Like there is more SPIFFE and Spire workshops that we are going to add for different use cases. I know there's something in the works there as well.
As long as I'll be in the company, I'll try to make them live as long as possible.
Yep, happy to help as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, SPIFFE Spire Advance is in the roadmap, and as many others. So yeah, stay tuned about it.
Yeah, if you folks still have any questions about the workshop itself, if you're not having issues, you know, like do let us know. I did get a confirmation, I think, that there is still seats available, right, Fred? Like, is that accurate? There's still seats available.
Yes, there are.
Okay. When we say seats, what exactly are we talking there, Fred? Like, is it like an environment that is already set up in the background, which is waiting to be used?
Well, I mean, whenever you're registering for a workshop, you'll be provided with an environment like the one you actually use during your demonstration or during the talk. Mm-hmm. So it takes only 2 minutes to actually spin it up. And so whenever you're hitting the register button, everything in the backend deploys the necessary files and prepare everything. And within 2 minutes, the student is receiving an email with the credentials and the link to connect to the Jupyter Notebook server. And from there on, it has 4 hours to actually perform the workshops. So he has time to watch the video if he doesn't know about the subject and get familiar with it, and then do the workshop. And after this, I mean, yeah, 4 hours is a long period of time. So it's largely enough to perform the work. Perfect. And it's free. Yeah. And it's available all the time.
Yeah,
so
exciting.
Make good usage of it.
Yeah.
And at the end, very importantly, at the end of the workshop, in the conclusion notebook, there is a survey, and we kindly ask you to actually fill it up, because it helps us actually define what will be the future subject or topics that we'll be covering in this workshop. So obviously, it's very important to gather this type of feedbacks for us, because it really helps us defining the roadmap of the content that we'll be delivering over the year. So either in the conclusion or in the last email that the student will receive after, you have the welcome email, the credentials. In the second one, then you have a reminder 1 hour before the end of the workshop, and in the final email, you get as well this link to the survey. So it's important. And so yeah, there's maybe 4 or 5 people doing the SPIFFE Spire workshop, and there are about 35 seats, so plenty of room. And as well, whenever you're finishing the workshop, we've introduced lately a badge system or a badge program. So whenever you're finishing a workshop, you'll be happy to receive a badge that you can share on LinkedIn, on Twitter and everything. So I actually did the SPIFFE Spire earlier today, and I received the badge, and I was proud to share it on LinkedIn. And this helped us actually to promote the workshops on demand program as well. And so for any single workshop you're going over, there's a finisher badge, and we're introducing some special badges. So if you're doing 3 workshops, you're an apprentice, if I remember well. Then if you're doing 5 out of the total catalog, you get like an expert. Then if you're doing 7, you might become a hero. And if you're doing 10, you might be a superhero. And I'm targeting for the legend badge, which is 15 of them. So that's what we've been putting in place lately. So yeah, that's
more power to you, Fred. More power to you.
I'll do my best, thanks. And as a creator, actually, Madhu, you might get something as well. So we have introduced some special badges for the people who are helping us out in creating some content for the workshops on demand. So you might receive something as well over it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's nice to, you know, like get free stuff, especially things that really matter to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I think I will leave it to you now. It's 10 past in France right now. So I think my wife is waiting for me for dinner, or she didn't wait for me, maybe, unfortunately. So wishing you a very good end of the day, and talk to you soon.